Terry, first of all, if we can reflect on Wednesday night at Arbroath, a very good performance and good to progress in the Cup.
Yeah, I mean, this time last year we were out of the Cup, we lost to Ayr United, and quite rightly so. So we were always looking from the outside into the competition itself. So it'd be nice to be involved in the draw. It's nice to have a good, solid team performance as well on the back of a poor display against Celtic. And I think the lads felt rightly aggrieved after the Celtic game that we'd been sort of judged immediately on that one match, whereas the 3 previous games to that we've done very, very well. So in 5 games this season, 1 we haven't really performed anywhere near the level that we can do, and the other 4 we've done very, very well in. So Wednesday night I think was a case of just getting back out on the pitch, the players desperate to play again, a couple of changes which worked very well for us, but the whole team was just eager to go and show people that they are good players and that we have had a good start to the season.
You're away to your old club Motherwell on Sunday. I know that you relish the trips down to Fir Park, one of your old stomping grounds, but you'll be looking to pick up all 3 points, something you did last season.
Yeah, we've got some great friends down there still, and it's a great club, and we used to Inverness Caledonian Thistle coming down and beating us, particularly when I was manager of Motherwell, so we want to continue that trend, the fact that Inverness Caledonian Thistle go down there and win. So last year we had sort of mixed feelings about it. We lost the first game 3-0, played pretty well in the match but still lost 3 goals, and in our second encounter there we won 1-0 with Johnny Hayes being the victorious captain. I think it's his one and only captaincy that he was very proud to have a 100% record, and Gregory Taddy scored the winning goal. So our 2 sort of top scorers from last year aren't going to be with us this season, of course, but we're still managing to make lots of chances, score lots of goals in their absence, and long may that continue. But not the players have got good memories of Fir Park from that 1-0 win last year, and we obviously aim to go down there and try and repeat that if we can.
Motherwell, of course, were in European action last night against Levante, but although they've had a few hiccups in Europe, they're still unbeaten in the SPL this season.
Yeah, they are. They're a side that could have gone top as well, but for that last-minute goal by St Mirren last week. And they've still got quite a few injury problems to try and sort out. I think they've travelled more than we have this season, which is something. But they actually put up a good display in Spain. Fielded a pretty strong side. A lot of younger players too getting their chance, which they always do at Motherwell, of course. But we are, from our point of view, we know what we're up against. We had sort of a mixed bag of results against them last year, and we know what they can do. And despite their injury situation, despite players being out of the team, they'll still field a very good side, and that can cause us problems. But we're buoyant at the moment because apart from the Celtic match, we've done pretty well this year, especially away from home too. And we like to travel. We like to do very well on other people's grounds. And we've got Richie Ferran back in action now after his red card, and with only Nick Ross and Chris Hogg out, we've got a pretty strong squad to select from.
You mentioned Johnny Hayes and Gregory Taddy there. Andrew Shinney grabbed a few goals for you last season, 8 I think he grabbed. He's already halfway there this season. He's had a great start to the season.
Well, he could have actually surpassed that figure on Wednesday because he had enough chances and enough shots at goal to have scored 3 or 4 more goals. But he's done very well for us in every game, and he's a quality player now. He's fit and strong. Same with Aaron Doran as well. Aaron's a player, a very key player for us. That if you keep him on a good level of fitness, if he keeps himself nice and sharp, then we've got one hell of a player there too. So we've got good young players. And I looked at Motherwell, and they're saying people like Murphy, and they've got quite a few other players in the team that have pretty young, or Jama. Pretty young players, but so our forward line's a very young forward line, and on Wednesday in particular they were back on song and back to where they can get to. So we know what we could do. We know that young players are very much up and down when it comes to the SPL, but our players in particular, our younger players, have featured all the time this season and the pre-season as well. So this squad and this team in particular is getting to know each other. Minute by minute, every game, every training session, getting to know each other better. So the less changes we can make. I always don't like to make a lot of changes, but the less changes that we can make, the more the continuity's there, the more the understanding's there, and hopefully the more the results come.
You've added to your squad this week as well with the arrival of Philip Roberts. What can the supporters expect from him?
Well, they're young players. I mean, I don't think they should expect too much because they're Phil's 18 and George is only 19. So they're players that haven't really had a taste of first team football. I don't think George has ever has a name on the back of his shirt. So, and with a double-barreled name, John Doherty, our kit man, didn't have any hyphens, so he's going to have to cut an L in half or something, or an R in half to make sure we got the right spelling of his name. These are the sort of quirks that you never get at probably Premier League clubs, but it's great to have the 2 new faces on. Phil came last week and had a good look at the place and went back down to Arsenal and reported back very favourably to us. And of course, when we had the opportunity, we sort of brought him straight back up. So and George was released and was going to go to Norwich, and that didn't happen. So he needs a bit of work on his fitness, but 2 extra faces, which I didn't think we would get, is a massive bonus for us. Even though they're young, we would have liked more experienced players, but we haven't got the money for that. But bodies is good because it gives you options on the bench. It gives options further up the pitch because Phil can cover across the front line and George can cover up and down the left hand side as well. We've only got 5 defenders in the team that are fit and available. Obviously, Hoggy would be the 6th one, but that's going to be he's not going to be there for some time. So going with 5 defenders is very difficult, and we haven't got any cover for Graham Shinney at left back either. So we just fingers crossed all the time when it comes to games. Because in the games last year we got a lot of injuries, but to be fair, the players, they've been absolutely tremendous this year. They've looked after themselves really well. We've geared back the training a little bit on the Mondays after games, increase it a little bit the more the week goes on. But the players have responded to that very, very well. So they've kept themselves fit, they've kept themselves sharp, and I think we can see that in the games, and particularly the training sessions, that they're really ready for the challenge ahead.
And just one final question: any business before?
Well, we may do. We'll see. Waiting on a phone call. But Del Piero's just a little bit out of our range. I think he's already said he's going to go to Sydney FC, so we missed out on him. So that's a bit of a pity. But we'll wait and see. I'm not joking. We're waiting on a phone call. So if we can do some business, we will do.
Excellent stuff, Terry. Thanks for that.